Sherrone Moore fired with cause by the University of Michigan. First reaction is not a surprise at all. I have said not a word about this publicly. This has been, I'm not going to say well known, but this has been pretty widely speculated behind the scenes for weeks and weeks, to the point where when I was watching Michigan back half of the season, there were two purposes. Number one, I just like watching Michigan football. The second was I believed that Michigan was taking a wait and see approach. There was also an investigation going on behind the scenes, but I thought they were taking a wait and see approach because there's one world where the team just doesn't perform on the field and it absolves you of even having to fire someone with cause.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
Insanity. What I have heard and seen regarding the Sherrone Moore story is absolutely despicable. Clearly, Michigan had enough of Sherrone Moore's off the field issues. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Sherrone Moore being detained by police after the Michigan firing. Sherrone Moore was in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member at Michigan. According to what was stated in the reports, her name was Paige Shiver, as she and Sherrone Moore had an affair with each other. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. What is your reaction to Michigan firing Sherrone Moore for cause? Three thoughts in my mind came immediately to my head, which were convenient timing, horrifying, and well-deserved. The reason why I came up with those three thoughts was because I always think about the things from the university perspective and how it benefits the bosses. Obviously, the Sherrone Moore incident was very disturbing, to say the least. I'm not making an excuse for Sherrone Moore whatsoever. What Sherrone Moore did, if true, needs to be absolutely locked up in prison. This man has no business coaching on a football field, nor holding a professional job that pays him millions of dollars or even any sort of money whatsoever. Now, the reason why I say convenient timing is because Michigan needed to go ahead and fire a coach for losing to Ohio State. Let's ask ourselves this question. If Michigan had made the college football playoff this year, and or if they had beaten Ohio State this year, do you really think Sherrone Moore would have been fired? No, I don't think he would have. I don't think any of this dirty laundry would have came out, but obviously Michigan felt like they needed an excuse to get out of the Sherrone Moore contract. We all knew that the Sherrone Moore hiring was just a bridge hiring to something much bigger. Obviously, they hired Sherrone Moore because he was Jim Harbaugh's interim head coach at Michigan a couple of years ago. They won a national championship in 2023, and they knew that, yeah, let's go ahead and just hire Sherrone Moore and wait until something better comes up. And if Sherrone Moore messes up in something, well, then we can get out of the contract without having to pay him any type of money, which is exactly what has happened because Sherrone Moore couldn't keep himself in control. That's why you don't get yourself in an affair to begin with. That's why you don't get yourself into a situation where you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. It never ends well. I'm glad Sherrone Moore got detained by police, not because I want to see Sherrone Moore get arrested, but because I want to see Sherrone Moore be held accountable for his actions. I also want to show you guys this clip of Dave Portnoy reacting to the Sherrone Moore firing. Of course, when the Sherrone Moore firing came out, he didn't know there was a bigger situation going on at hand, so he only focused from the football perspective. However, I am going to show you guys this clip because this is how a lot of Michigan fans were feeling regarding Sherrone Moore prior to the information about the affair coming out. It was rather intriguing. Roll the film.
I feel like I know stuff. I don't know stuff. I thought he was getting another year. I don't even know what to speak. I'll just say this. And everybody better hear it loud and clear. Anybody who's part of this program, anybody who goes to this university, we don't play for 9-3 at Michigan. We don't play for 9-3 at Michigan. We play for national championships like we're doing in basketball. Number one team in the country. Clear favorite to win the whole thing. Like we did 2 years ago and went undefeated. Won the Big Ten. Won the Rose Bowl. Put Nick Saban in retirement. Won the national title. We don't play for 9-3. We missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. At some schools, that'll get you another year. Even me, I'm like, maybe they give him another year. Not at Michigan. At Michigan, we play for national championships. Anything else, unacceptable.
This is the greatest thrill of my life. I'm king of the world. Woohoo! Woohoo!
That is how Dave Portnoy is feeling about the Michigan Wolverines right now, and I think a lot of Michigan Wolverine fans are going to certainly feel that way as well. They certainly feel like, thank goodness they got rid of Sherrone Moore. Obviously, it is bigger than what actually happened on the football field. What Sherrone Moore did was very disturbing, to say the least. That's why I say it was horrifying, because what I heard from the story of Sherrone Moore was absolutely sickening. This guy is getting a knife out, threatening to kill himself. That's why they had to go ahead and lock him up in prison. Hopefully they get this guy to a mental institution. Like I said earlier in the video, this man does not belong anywhere near a football field. Sherrone Moore should be banned from coaching. Do I actually think Sherrone Moore is going to get banned from coaching? No, probably not, because Sherrone Moore is a multimillionaire who is a privileged man in America. When you are a multimillionaire who is privileged in America, you are always going to get second, third, fourth, and fifth chances unless if you murder someone. In the case of Sherrone Moore, he didn't murder anyone. Even if he attempted to do so, it's just the sad reality that we live in. Sherrone Moore is going to get another opportunity to coach football. I don't think he should. I think he should be locked up behind bars. The production tolerance for Sherrone Moore was certainly not worth it. When you read the story of what happened with Sherrone Moore, it's absolutely horrifying. I feel so sorry for his wife, for his 3 kids, and for all the people involved in this, because he brought all these people down just because of his own selfish acts. I hope this is a lesson for everyone to learn about why you don't get into affairs, especially if you are a married man in a position of power, because it never ends well. Sherrone Moore had nothing to gain by doing this, and he had everything to lose by doing that. And now look at him. He was at the top of the mountain, and now he's all the way at the bottom because he couldn't keep himself in control. And the final reaction I have for Sherrone Moore getting fired for cause is it's well deserved. I hope Sherrone Moore doesn't get a penny of this moving forward, which is why he was fired for cause. When you fire a head coach for cause, you don't get a single penny in the buyout. Sherrone Moore was absolutely stupid to do what he did. Sherrone Moore deserves to get canceled. I hope Michigan can clean up the Sherrone Moore scandal, and once again the University of Michigan has another scandal in this decade, which seems to be a common theme for the Michigan football program. They seem to constantly get themselves involved in scandals all the time, and if you're Michigan, I think you better go ahead and hire a head coach from the outside in. You don't go ahead and hire someone who is close to Jim Harbaugh or has Jim Harbaugh based connections. You need to go ahead and hire a program builder that's going to be a good disciplinarian. I'm thinking about hiring Brian Kelly if I'm the University of Michigan. I know Brian Kelly doesn't win national championships, but he is capable of making a team win 9 or 10 games every year. If Michigan can do that, then I think they're going to be a pretty good program moving forward. Yeah, I know they won 9 games with Bryce Underwood at the quarterback position, but if you want to retain Bryce Underwood in Ann Arbor, you better hire an experienced head coach, and I think Brian Kelly is the right man for the job. If not Brian Kelly, then go ahead and try to contact Alabama head coach Kalen. I'm not necessarily sure if he would take that offer, but at this point, it would be better than having a first-time head coach. Sherrone Moore had no business being Michigan's head coach, and Michigan, quite frankly, used the scandal as an excuse to get out of the Sherrone Moore situation. I don't see him ever coming back from this type of scandal. So that is why I felt like it was convenient timing, horrifying, and well-deserved to Michigan firing Sherrone Moore for cause, as the Sherrone Moore story was crazy on all levels possible. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinNashTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinNashTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinNashTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.